Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees the release of the highly anticipated DC superhero sequel, Wonder Woman 1984, hitting store shelves, along with a little 4K love with the religious epic The Ten Commandments getting a 4K upgrade. Paramount Pictures is releasing a Blu-ray edition of the 1976 baseball comedy The Bad News Bears, and Criterion Collection is releasing a edition of the comedy drama from 1991 starring Albert Brooks, Defending Your Life, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart. I don't even know what to say, man. I'm serious. Like, they do not have any of the new releases this week. I'm dead serious, man. Like, none. Like, all the stuff from last week, stuff I showed off before. But they don't have any of the new releases out here. They don't even have WW84. That's crazy. And I was searching all over for, like, maybe display. There's no display anywhere at all. Damn. Like, they literally got nothing this week at all. That's fucking nuts. I was expecting something this week. I mean, WW84 at the very least. Nothing. Damn, and this Walmart has been so good the past like 2-3 weeks, man, and damn, they crashed hard. Damn, man. I mean, the only thing here that I do want to talk about real quick, though, is Cosmo Ball. I wanted to talk about Cosmo Ball because one of my subscribers, Ovis, who really wanted to know about the movie, I didn't actually talk about the movie too much because I didn't actually watch it, and they wanted like a full-on me talking about it and telling you guys what's up with it with the movie. So I ended up actually watching it. I usually don't go back and watch these releases, some of the ones that I missed, but this one I did for my man Ovis, so hope you appreciate this, man. Now, this movie, you know, when I showed it off last time, I almost thought it was like some sort of weird version of Space Jam or something, and that is so not even close to the case with this film, man. Basically, we're in a futuristic Earth. There was this war that went on, and this alien overlord is trapped inside the core of the Earth, and the moon is broken up, and the idea that the Earth is a desolate place now, and it's sort of ruined, and people are living in poverty and poor, and there's barely any electricity. And what people strive for is Cosmo Ball, because it's like the only entertainment they have in the whole goddamn world. I mean, TV's thing of the past, gone. So they decide, okay, we're going to enjoy Cosmo Ball. But what they don't realize is that Cosmo Ball is actually a front for saving the world, because they're playing with this energy that basically this overlord is releasing to try to free himself and destroy the world. And it's sort of playing this game but yet saving the world at the same time, and sort of the mixture between the two, I would say. It's a weird movie, man, and it's a very complicated story. Very complicated. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, different characters, a lot of people that betray you, and different characters that have various motivations. Like, it's all over the place, to be honest with you, man. But that being said, even though the plot is mega confusing, and sometimes you sit there like, it's kind of hard to follow all the moving pieces, the movie is actually pretty decent. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I mean, the visuals here are stunning. I mean, they're very vivid, they're colorful. The CGI, for the most part, is beautifully well done. Yeah, there are moments where the CGI looks really CGI, like straight out of like an animated Disney movie. Like, it looks pretty rough at times. especially for like live action. But there are moments where like it's absolutely gorgeous and you're stunned by the visuals, man. And I liked the action stuff with Cosmo Ball, and especially at the end when they're battling the evil overlord, and they're in space and in the sky and flying around and teleporting and everything. Like, all that shit's so cool, man. I mean, it is cool. The action is really well done here. I thought the CGI was pretty decent for the most part. Again, I think what pulls this movie down is actually two things what pulls this movie down. One is the overcomplication of the plot. I mean, sometimes it's not the fact that it's hard to follow, it's the fact that it's a foreign film. So it's not, these characters are not speaking English, they're speaking another language, and you have the subtitles to tell you what's going on. So because the plot is really a little bit more complicated than usual, you're always sort of looking down at the words constantly and trying to figure out who's who and what's what and what are they saying and why is this going on at this certain point. It kind of takes away from the visuals of the movie, I would say, at times, when you have to look down and look at the friggin' subtitles like every few seconds. But it is important, because if you don't, you're gonna basically lose track of what the fuck's going on in this movie. And also, what I gotta say, guys, is that the movie's a little long in the tooth. I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, the movie is it's a little too lengthy for my own good. Like, I was watching it, and like an hour 45 went by, and I'm like, oh, the movie's still not done yet. And I checked back another 10 minutes later, the movie's still not done yet. And it just kept going and going and going, kind of like the Energizer Bunny, but this one needs new batteries too, because it was running out of steam. And it just felt like they were continuing the story to continue it. Like, I almost felt like they could have maybe saved some of that stuff for a possible sequel, maybe. I mean, you could have cut like 10, 20 minutes out of this movie, and I don't think anybody would have missed it overall. I mean, I like the character motivations, I like the design of the creatures, and the actual Cosmo Ball arena, and the gameplay. It almost reminds me in a weird way of, like Quidditch, like Harry Potter's Quidditch or something. It really reminds me in some weird way, like a futuristic sci-fi version of it. But there's some cool stuff in this movie. Like I said, the visuals are gorgeous. I like a lot of the designs, man. The action is pretty cool, but with an overcomplicated plot and the length of the movie that could have been shortened a bit, it's a decent watch. It's not a great watch, but for somebody who's a sci-fi lover and is interested in maybe an indie sci-fi movie that sort of like goes balls out with sort of the visuals and the sci-fi aspect, Cosmo Ball, I gotta say, in that aspect, is pretty damn good. It is. I was gonna write this thing off as like a cheesy sci-fi flick, and yeah, it's got moments of it, but I think it's better than that. Truly. Was not prepared for how good it was gonna be, even though I have my issues with it. I gotta admit, I was overall impressed, man. So thank you, Ovis, for getting on my ass to actually like talk about this movie, man, because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. Who would have thought Cosmo Ball? It's a wild and weird ride, but a lot of really great sci-fi gold in there, for the most part, man. Not bad, dude. And honestly, other than that, dude, like, there's literally nothing else. I hate to say it, but man, this Walmart whiffed big time. Not even WW84? Damn. Alright, let's head out. Man, that's pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I mean, Wonder Woman 84, it's a big release movie. You would have thought that would have been out here, at the very least, that movie, dude. But I kind of got an explanation as to why we didn't get anything this week. So I was talking to the old woman that's been helping out putting physical media up as of late. And she's saying that the tags could not be printed out. They somehow aren't printing out the tags, so they couldn't put any of the media out. However, she said to some of her co-workers, the other like 5 or 6 people here, she said, hey, if you help me, we could handwrite the actual tags. And if we handwrite the tags, we can put the media out. And nobody wanted to help her. Like, literally, nobody gave a shit and didn't want to help her. By the way, guys, this older woman, she told me today, she's retiring in the middle of May this year. She's retiring. So after she goes, who else is really going to give a shit? Okay? I have a feeling like once sort of after the middle of May happens, I don't know how good the physical media is going to be here anymore. I mean, it wasn't that great for a while anyways. It was getting better, but now, ooh, who knows, man? I mean, damn. Not even WW84? Ooh, where's physical media going to go at this moment? I guess only time will tell, but all signs point to the life signs being you know what I mean? Oof, ouch. Well, let's hope they put the physical media out sooner rather than later. Hey, we could see it next week when it's a week late. Yay. Well, this Walmart was a big old bust. Normally. Usually it's been good, but now not so much. Bummer. Alright. Well, let's hope for something more worth showing off at the next location. Let's hope. Alright, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. But before we go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something. So, I was reading this article, right? It says, physical media, an outdated but comforting concept. Let's dive into a little bit of what they have to say, shall we? With digital storage becoming cheaper and more readily available, and streaming services becoming more commonplace each year, society has all but collectively abandoned physical media. Why buy a Blu-ray or a CD when you could easily stream countless titles on Netflix and Spotify for a comparable price? The answer is simple. There's just something comforting about physical media. No matter how much we love the convenience these digital avenues of consuming content give us, interacting with physical media is simply a much more engaging experience. Sure, digital is so much easier to keep a track of with algorithmic sorting and a one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs, but what about showing off the things you've read or listened to? With digital media, you don't have a collection you can look at and hold. The digital bookshelf may emulate a real one, but it lacks the character a collection of paperbacks or physical media like movies adds to a room. Now, they go on to say a little bit more here. Basically, what they say is that it's a bit antiquated to prefer a physical copy to a PDF you can take wherever you go, but a physical book or movie is so much more than the words on the page or on the screen. It's the smell of the fresh pages or opening up the DVD or the case, the feel of rough paper, and the sort of turning each page that makes it different. If nothing else, digital media can go away at any moment. Your shelves of paperbacks and records are safe from the volatility of the internet, unlike digital libraries, which rely on the whim of their providers. How many times have I been saying that to you guys? Physical media is inconvenient, yes. It takes up infinitely more space than our phones, which connect us to all manners of streaming services and digital libraries, but just because something is less convenient doesn't mean it has no value. A book, a CD, a DVD, an 8-track, a painting, these things will connect us more personally to a work than a digital file ever will. And by the way, this article comes from a 19-year-old journalism sophomore. 19 years old. Kid knows what he's talking about. Indeed they do. So, look, you know, it doesn't matter what you collect. Some people collect 8-tracks. Some people collect vinyl. Some people collect books. Some people collect movies. It doesn't matter, guys. It really is about the overall experience. And I think that is the truth here. I mean, when I go to these stores now, just like when I went to Walmart and I didn't see any of the new physical media, you know, to me, digital is invading our lives every single day. And that's not to say that's a bad thing, because sometimes I like digital, I'm not going to lie. I do. I watch a lot of stuff through digital. But there's something about owning something and appreciating it. I remember when I was a kid going to Blockbuster, right? And picking up a movie, seeing the artwork, looking at the back and reading the synopsis and the imagery. And there's something about that that made you appreciate the experience more, appreciate the movie more. I don't know what it is, and it's hard to really quantify it, but for me, I think I grew up at a great time of physical media and appreciating the movies in a way that if I were to grow up now in the digital world, I don't know if I would appreciate movies as much as I do. Because I grew up back in the day, and there was something about going and checking out the artwork and holding the physical copies and going to your friends, and your friends could say, "Oh, have you ever heard of this movie?" And you say, "No, I haven't." And they would let you borrow the DVD or the VHS copy or the Blu-ray, and you would experience the movie, and then you'd go and buy it. Or it's the thrill of going on the hunt to these thrift stores or these other locations where you're finding the media, and there's that sudden rush of enjoyment and excitement. You don't get that with digital. You don't get that at all. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to love digital. There's a lot of reasons to. And I'm not saying that digital doesn't hold a special place in my heart to a certain extent, because it does. But I got to admit, guys, I got to be honest with you, there's something about physical that transcends digital and will always transcend digital. I just feel bad for the people growing up today who can't really understand what some of us older counterparts can. But I see like a 19-year-old writing that article, and I say, maybe there is hope for the future. Maybe there is hope. I see this 19-year-old writing this article, and I'm like, maybe they understand the fact that, yes, physical is not convenient. And yes, that in a lot of ways it's outdated. But that doesn't matter because it's comforting. And you get to have it and own it, and it's yours. And no one gets to take that away from you. These new generations growing up won't understand what you and I understand. They just won't. But maybe there is hope for the future. Maybe there is hope for these younger generations to appreciate physical the way I do, or some of you guys do out there. So maybe I shouldn't give up all hope on the younger generation. Maybe they will understand what we all understand. The physical media, no matter what you like, is still important and is still an experience worth diving into. Well, let's hope. Definitely let me know what you guys think about that. In the meantime, well, I'm not going to lie, man. Walmart was, that was rough. But Target's got to have Wonder Woman 84, right? I mean, at least that, if nothing else. Jeez, I hope. And the way to find out is to go inside, so let's head in and check it out. All right, everybody, we are in at Target with this small display for Wonder Woman 1984. And it looks like they have quite a bit of variety, guys. Pretty decent, dare I say. We got the Blu-ray DVD digital for $24.99. We got the combo pack Blu-ray digital of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84 for $29.99. The 4K Love for $29.99 as well, and the DVD as well for $17.99. Nice. I like the different cover art right there. Very cool, very vibrant, very colorful. I'm liking that, man. And actually, speaking of unique artwork, we also have the Blu-ray DVD digital only at Target exclusive packaging for $24.99 as well, with that great artwork right there. Nice, or sort of the neon colors, very 80s retro. Very, very cool, man. I'm liking that big time, man. I mean, and even though this is only a Target exclusive, it's just kind of cool having different artwork, man, for the Blu-ray and the 4K and the DVD as well. There's something really cool about it. Just as a physical media lover, man, you just love seeing different artwork for different releases. I don't know, there's something about it I just love, dude. And this is one of the best, man, truly is. Now, I ended up getting a chance to watch this on HBO Max. In fact, Bob, John, and myself did a movie review for Wonder Woman 1984. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you guys want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And why wouldn't you? I literally dress up as Wonder Woman. I mean, if you ever wondered what I would look like as Wonder Woman, wonder no longer, ladies and gentlemen. You will be astounded and possibly scarred for life, but it'll be worth it. Yeah, I will put the link down below on that one. Now, we were really looking forward to this movie. I'm not gonna lie, we really honestly were, because look, the first Wonder Woman movie, there she is. The first Wonder Woman movie was amazing. It came out of nowhere. Nobody saw it coming how good that movie ended up turning out to be, and it was glorious, man. It was one of the best superhero movies of that year, and in fact, it's one of the best DC superhero movies of all time, dare I say. And it was just wonderful. The action, the characterization, Gal Gadot did an amazingly wonderful job as Wonder Woman. Everything fit perfectly, man. So I think a lot of people, including myself, were really highly anticipating what the actual sequel was going to hold. And of course we had to wait. That goddamn coronavirus, man, ruins everything. And so, because of the coronavirus, not being able to see it in the movie theaters, going straight to HBO Max, but still, the hype was extended. You want to know what it was all about. You wanted to dive into more Wonder Woman because you only thought good times ahead, right? The first movie was amazing, so why not keep the good times rolling? And I got to admit that I was massively disappointed with Wonder Woman 84, man. I think all of us were. And it was a real shame, because it's not like this movie. I guess it's not like this movie wanted to be bad, right? Because nobody sets out to make a bad Wonder Woman movie or a bad movie in general. But it's just, everything seemed, at least in our opinion, to work against this movie. I mean, yeah, the first 20-25 minutes are cool with some of the action and the 80s nostalgia, and you're kind of getting into it. But most of the stuff after that felt like a real bore to us. I mean, the action scenes felt flat. There were very few and far between. We thought that Gal Gadot did a decent job as Wonder Woman when she was Wonder Woman. You barely actually got to see her as Wonder Woman in this movie. It was mostly her being Diana more than anything else. I mean, her as Wonder Woman, just, you barely got to see it. And it's called Wonder Woman. It's not called Diana Prince, it's called Wonder Woman. And you barely really got to see her in action. And I just thought the plot with the wishes and bringing people back to life and getting things that you wanted but at a cost, it's an interesting idea. You know, they've done that type of stuff before. It's nothing new. I mean, if you've ever seen any of the Wishmaster movies, I mean, that's sometimes the whole premise. But I felt like it turned out to be lame to me. It turned out to be lame overall, and on top of that, I'm not gonna lie, the villains ended up turning out to be really lame as well. I mean, basically, you have a washed up businessman that wants to be relevant again, and you have this nerdy chick that, you know, somehow wants to be like Diana and sort of spins out of control. And I just thought it was kind of lame. I mean, they didn't really add anything new and interesting to the movie. They didn't really enhance the story. And I just gotta admit, like, the whole cheetah stuff, I mean, especially the end with the design of her, I just felt was so terribly done, man. I just thought it was I think the movie overall is a misfire. I mean, there's so many inconsistencies to the Wonder Woman story. I thought that some of the characters were shortchanged, not enough screen time. Others felt like they went on forever, and it's like, you know, cut it down a bit. The movie felt really lengthy and overly long. We were just sitting there bored. out of our minds with this movie. We were bored and we were just wondering, when is this movie going to get interesting again? And there were moments where you felt like it was ramping up, and then it just sort of settled back down again. And even the ending with sort of everybody wishing their wish away, it turns out to be lame. I mean, the even the 80s nostalgia wasn't really all that great either. You saw some glimpses of it early on, but just it didn't do anything to enhance the story. I mean, it's a great idea to put it in the 80s with the eye-popping colors and the clothing and the music, and there's something about it that's really fascinating and interesting. But I just don't think they pulled it off. I don't think they pulled it off, and I don't think it really worked. I mean, it all sounds cool, right? You put Wonder Woman in the 80s, you have a couple of possibly interesting villains, you set it in a little bit more of a modern day setting. Like there's a lot of things here that is working to the movie's advantage. But I just don't think it really worked. And I think it turns out to be a really lackluster, limp dick attempt at making another Wonder Woman thing. And maybe that's the lesson of this movie. Maybe it is. Maybe the lesson of this movie, honestly, is that you can only make really one good Wonder Woman movie, and they did it. They made it, and it's an awesome movie. Maybe lightning can't strike twice. Maybe it can't. And Wonder Woman 1984, I think, honestly proves that. It's a real shame, man, because I was looking forward to it. I was just bored at the end of the day with this movie. I really was. It didn't anger me. I wasn't angry watching it, but I mean, I got to admit, like my friend John got angry. I mean, literally, we're over halfway through the film. Nothing is going on. We're literally bored out of our skull, waiting for something interesting in the movie to happen, and he got angry. He was literally like fuming. It's like, when is this thing going to get interesting? When are we going to watch Wonder Woman? Like, when are we going to get back to her? And he was just so pissed off about this movie, man. We're living in a golden age of superhero movies, and we expect every superhero movie to be top notch. And I think we have to start expecting that that's just not going to be the case anymore. It's just not going to be. So, I mean, for you guys that like the movie, I God bless your hearts, but man, for something that I was anticipating so much, it just let me down so hard. There's a lot of potential here, but the potential, man, it got lost in time. Kind of like Wonder Woman herself. Damn shame, dude. Damn shame. I mean, if you love the movie, hey, you got some great additions here. I mean, the Blu-ray DVD, the 2-pack, the DVD with the really great art, the 4K, and of course that really great Blu-ray DVD digital exclusive with the exclusive packaging, which I gotta admit does look pretty kick-ass. I just wish the movie was. Damn, man. Well, that sucks. Well, better luck next time, I suppose. Now, hopefully there will be next time, because Wonder Woman deserves better than what we got in this movie. Truly. Well, nice, neat little display for the most part, dare I say, man. And of course, as you can see, nothing else worth showing off over there. So, I guess Wonder Woman love at Target, and that's it. Hey, something is better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's head out. So, Target is a little bit lacking this week. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, man. However, let's be real. They did have Wonder Woman 1984, and that's one more than what Walmart had. I mean, seriously. So, you gotta give them some credit, man. And with the unique artwork and all the different formats that they have available for it, not overall half bad. I mean, mind you, this was kind of a slow release week anyways. I mean, outside of the one major title and a couple of sprinkling of indie stuff, not too much overall, to be fair, man. Now, actually, being over here in this section, you guys gotta end up actually answering this one for me. So I'm here. When did Target start getting Best Buy Steelbooks? Seriously, because I'm looking over here, right? They have the Incredible Hulk, the limited edition Steelbook. They have down here. They have Jaws. They have the Jaws Steelbook. They have Wizard of Oz. They have freaking Waterworld. Okay, they have those ones. They also over here I'm seeing they have 1917, and on top of that they also have the Back to the Future 35th anniversary limited edition trilogy, the Steelbooks. Look at that. They actually have it. Oh my god, man. What the hell? When did they start carrying this stuff? Like, I did not see this here last week, and now suddenly I'm seeing a barrage of, like, previous Best Buy Steelbooks. I mean, cool, but totally unexpected, man. And the Back to the Future Steelbook set for $60. Not bad if you think about it, because each movie would be $20 each. That's actually a pretty damn good deal. And for 4K, ooh, that's not bad. Don't dig money, don't dig fame, don't dig a critical ride in this train. Okay, I'm a little carried away, to be honest with you, but I'm just so happy they got this. And all the other cool sort of Best Buy Steelbook love as well. Who the hell would have thought, man? Totally unexpected, but totally cool. Not half bad, man. Wow. Is it weird to say that sometimes you don't know what to expect over a Target, but when you do, it turns out to be really good? So weird to say. Wow, what an end surprise to this little visit. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't gotten any of those Steelbooks, probably get up on it. Probably a good time to, not gonna lie. All right. Let's hit the next location. Hopefully more physical media goodness to come. All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any indie titles worth checking out this week. If there is, you bet your ass I'm going to head to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys, and that, whoo, talk about a bloody good time. I watched the Red Band trailer for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Yes, oh man, the full-on trailer, baby, is finally here, and I got to watch it. Oh man. Okay, so I was very interested in this. Cautiously optimistic, dare I say. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man, that first Suicide Squad movie, I am not a fan of. I do not like that whatsoever. I think it's a pretty terrible DC movie, a pretty terrible team-up movie, and just a mega disappointment and mega missed opportunity as far as I'm concerned. And so I thought, okay, that's the end of it. We're never going to see any other Suicide Squad team-up movie again. Just not going to happen. Lo and behold, all we needed was James Gunn. Who knew? Because, man, this is what I was looking for the entire time in Suicide Squad, and I never got. This movie, man, basically, it's the same idea as Suicide Squad. It's a bunch of criminals going on this mission, and, you know, they take a certain amount of sentence off if they complete the mission, and it's just this ragtag group of misfits and criminals coming together to do this dangerous mission that they won't give anybody else to do, but since these are criminals, why not throw them to the wolves? Why not, man? So that's where this all stems from. And I gotta admit that the trailer looks really cool to me. It's almost like kind of like The Dirty Dozen meets a comic book movie. That's what it kind of reminds me of in a lot of ways, man. And what a diverse group of people, man. I mean, we have some people coming back from the first movie. Harley Quinn, of course, the guy with the boomerangs, which I'm now completely blanking on his name. You got him, and Amanda Waller, of course, coming back as well. And then I believe Rick Flag as well you also have here too. And then you have a whole bunch of new people as well coming into the fold here. And they're all weird and quirky. I mean, some of these heroes and criminals I know, and some of them I'm not familiar with. I mean, there's one guy that's dressed up like in a polka dot suit, which I'm not even sure about. You have Bloodshot, which I know a little bit about, but not a lot. You have King Shark, which by the way is voiced by Sylvester motherfucking Stallone. What great casting! That's awesome, man. I mean, that's really cool. You have John Cena here as well, and a bunch of really great actors in this piece, man, that look like they're just having fun, being mundane yet exciting at the same time. Like, I love, there's a certain scene where they're hearing what the mission report is, and like, Amanda Waller's like, well, any questions? Does anybody have anything? And King Shark raises his and Bloodshot is like, oh my god, we're gonna die. and the polka dot man is like, I hope. I'm like, oh my god, man, this is like, it's lunacy to the nth degree, and I can't wait, man. You know, I do love James Gunn, and I think James Gunn is massively underappreciated. I mean, yes, people love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and those movies are awesome, and I love them, but man, you go back to a lot of his other stuff, man. Movies like Slither and Super, and, you know, his time with Trauma, and you're thinking, this guy knows how to have fun, make a ridiculous movie, and yet somehow you're completely entertained and it's relatable, and you leave the theater feeling like your time wasn't wasted. And that's not easy to do, especially not anymore, man. And James Gunn pulls it off extremely well. Most times he really does, man. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it could be really good. I mean, mind you, look, it could also be shit. Let's be real, it could be crap, but I'm looking forward to this, and this is what I wanted out of Suicide Squad, man. I just felt Suicide Squad was very tame, and it really didn't take the concept and the idea to the directions I wanted it to, where this looks like it's definitely going to do that, man. And so I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I think it could be really, really cool. Don't hold me to it, but that's just what I think. God, let's hope that's true, man. I mean, it'll come to theaters and come on HBO Max at the same time. So whether you're watching it at home or watching it in the movie theater, hopefully you'll be entertained regardless. Hopefully I am too. Let's hope on this one, guys. In the meantime, let's head into the second Walmart and hopefully some physical media worth checking out. Well, here we are at the second good old Walmart yet again, and I gotta admit, it looks like it's gonna be a rather slow week for physical media this time around, guys. However, that does not mean that we can't find some good indie titles to check out. Yes, the second Walmart has delivered yet again, guys. I mean, it's not crazy plentiful, a few titles here and there, but you wanna know what? I will take it, baby. Something is better than nothing, and when the second Walmart provides, I supply you guys with all that indie movie gold, and I will be doing it yet again, guys. So how about we dive into more indie Walmart goodness, Seth? I know you love doing it, brother. So how about we show off that physical media, shall we?
I would do anything for physical. I would do anything for physical. I would do anything for physical. But I won't do that. No, I won't do that. Oh, of course I'll do that. Come on. Of course I will. You know me by now. Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna do it. So, yeah. Guys, of course I'm gonna show off the Walmart goodness. Why wouldn't I, man? It's so entertaining. I can't help myself. Of course I have to, man. And I'm just happy there's actually something to show off this week, to be honest with you, because no lie,
it's a little rough this week. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a slow week, anyways, outside of Wonder Woman 1984, but yeah, it's a little bit of a rough go of it, man. And what I realize now is that, you know, at times the physical media is literally drying up, and there's not much to show off anymore. And there is going to come a time. I mean, truth be told, there's going to come a time, guys, where physical media is just not going to be in the stores anymore. I mean, the way we're going and the way these stores are stocking stuff, it's there will be a time where it just no longer is going to be a viable thing of being in the stores anymore. And I hate to say that, but at this point, I'm just sort of going along for the ride, right? I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing at this point, man, because, for me, any chance I get to show off physical media, no matter what title it is, I want to do it for you guys because I feel that it's vitally important to get the word out on these titles, to just talk about them, and to just enjoy the time that I have with physical media in these stores and it's still being a thing. I mean, I wish that it was an even bigger thing back in the day. I mean, I was talking to an employee and they were talking to me about how they used to work at Circuit City and how they saw that Circuit City was, going downhill further and further and further, and that just became a lost cause at some point. They realized that, as hard as we try to sort of keep that going, it's just not a thing anymore. And it's the same thing with physical media. Physical media feels to me like we're trying, and I'm trying my hardest, and you guys are trying your hardest to keep this thing alive still. It's like Frankenstein, trying to put the fucking bolts on and shit, right? But we're doing it because we still care. But there's gonna come a time where, unfortunately, it's no longer going to be viable for these stores. They just don't see an interest in it anymore. And it's a real shame. But I see an interest in it still. You guys see an interest in it still. And as long as I can show off as much as I can every single week, then that's what I'm going to do. And so, slow week, busy week, I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to do this and I'm going to cherish every single moment. So, with that being said, let's cherish some weird, bizarre, and entertaining Walmart goodness. Did somebody say Walmart goodness? I believe I did, yes. A few interesting titles from the second Walmart. Not a lot, but definitely worth diving into. So let's dive right in with the first title being Our Friend, based on a true story. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to watch it basically because of the cast. I mean, Jason Segel, Dakota Johnson, Casey Affleck, great actors and actresses, great bunch of people, really good up and comers. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want to check this out. Basically, in a nutshell, what it is, it's about this family, husband and wife, played by Casey Affleck and Dakota Johnson. And basically, Dakota Johnson gets this bad diagnosis of terminal cancer. And it's just the struggle as a family of dealing with that, bringing in their friend, played by Jason Segel, who helps them with the parenting angle and helping take care of Dakota Johnson. And it's just the trials and tribulations, struggles, heartaches, laughs, and general, just being a family unit to overcome this devastation that's going on inside their family. And it's a great movie, guys. Honestly, it's dramatic, it's heartfelt, it's heartwarming, it's extremely emotional. I'm not gonna lie, there were moments where I'm like, oh man, hold back the tears. The waterworks, hold them back. I was ready, baby. I was ready, man. It definitely got to me. It got to me big time because I really love these type of movies where it's the coming together and the struggles of dealing with an illness like this. One of the first ones I ever watched was a movie like Steel Magnolias, which still to this day is powerful to me, man. I mean, truly, truly powerful. One of the best movies I've ever seen. It got to me in the biggest, baddest way, and this definitely reminded me of that in a lot of ways, man. And also, the cast here does an incredible job. I mean, Casey Affleck is a great actor regardless, but he does an awesome job here. Jason Segel as well. I mean, Jason Segel is more known as a comedy guy. I mean, if you've ever seen movies like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I mean, he's the comedy guy. He's sort of the goofy, out of place dude. I mean, that's kind of what he is. But here he does a great dramatic role, has a few really good sort of heartwarming laugh stuff that, sort of breaks the tension, does a really good job here. And Dakota Johnson is awesome here as well, man. Really, really fantastic. I mean, I know people sort of sit there and be like, oh, well, that's Don Johnson's daughter, the one that went into the Red Room and got all kinds of naked and spanked, in those 50 Shades movies, man. But honestly, whether it's this movie or uh, Suspiria or, Bad Times at the El Royale, the Peanut Butter Falcon. I mean, she has become a really, really solid, great actress that I think has gained more respect over the years. I'm not saying 50 Shades is going to go away because it's never going to. It's always going to be a stain. But I mean, she's done a good job of overcoming it so far, and this movie is really phenomenal for her. Actually, phenomenal for all the actors. It's a great, heartfelt pull at your emotional strings type of movie, and it got me, dude. I mean, it's not perfect of a movie. It's got a little bit of pacing issues and some other stuff here and there, but throw that aside because the movie is just a really great, emotional, heartfelt movie that definitely, in my opinion, needs to be watched. The Widow. Ooh, what is this? An urban legend, a terrifying truth. Ooh, I'd say go to the chiropractor, but I think you're beyond help, sweetheart. In fact, maybe you need more like a priest. Just saying. You know, hopefully your healthcare coverage can, cover most of the cost. Man, you need a lot of help, honey. Oh man. From the director of Mermaid, Lake of the Dead, and Baba Yaga, Terror of the Dark Forest. In a deeply forested area north of St. Petersburg, people have been going missing for 3 decades. Very few corpses were ever found, and the few that were recovered were naked. On October 14, 2017, a team of volunteers went out in the woods in search of a missing teenager. Soon, all communications with them was lost. Locals believe they were taken by the same dark spirit that took the others. They call it the Limping Widow. Based on the true accounts from the region, this gripping film is a white-knuckle ride from beginning to end. Okay, the Limping Widow. All right, let me guess. She's famous for her limp? Hey? just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, man. Oh, man. Okay. Is this really true, though? I mean, it says based on true accounts from the region. Like, did they just see like an old lady with back problems, like in the middle of the night? They're like, oh my God. Oh my God, I saw something really terrifying. She was limping. She was limping. Oh my God. The horror. Like next time I'm just gonna go out into the forest and pretend to limp around naked and hopefully somebody will start like having some sort of mythological legend of this evil twisted and demonic YouTuber that that limps around the forest at night. Like, oh my God, man. Like I wonder, it's kind of like with like the chupacabra or something, right? Like, well, we have reports, but we don't know whether it's true or not. I mean, this is a little bit more even far-fetched than the chupacabra, but oh man, I don't know, dude. It seems fine. People going out in the woods searching for a little girl, which is a valid thing to do. It's not like stupid teenagers doing some sort of like YouTube video and completely like getting slaughtered and totally deserving it. I mean, these people are going out looking for a little girl and they just happen to come across the limping widow. Watch out, because once you see her limp, you never go back. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I mean, it could be really effective and really scary, or it could just be incredibly stupid, dude. I mean, I like the image on the cover there. I'm assuming this is the Limping Widow. I'm just taking a wild guess on this, guys. Like, it looks terrifying just from the imagery, but once you sort of put it into action, like the CGI and everything, is it going to be really that good? I have a feeling it's going to be kind of bad. I mean, it would remind me of that movie Mama, if you remember that one. It's a decent movie, but the CGI with the ghostly figure, it kind of took away from the movie. It wasn't really all that effective. And the CGI kind of looked really terrible. It kind of reminds me of this. Like, it looks cool, but moving around and everything, is it really going to be all that great? I don't know, guys. It has the potential to be good. I mean, mind you, this director has done Mermaid Lake of the Dead and Baba Yaga, Terror of the Dark Forest. Not exactly movies that light the world on fire either. So, 3 for 3? Who the hell knows, man? But as far as I'm concerned, I'm staying away from Dark Forest, and I'm definitely staying away from limping old ladies. And when you're out on a dark and desolate road, you may want to pay the toll. Yes! Oh, the next wonderful horror villain, perhaps? Sure. Oh, baby. Everyone. And when you're out on a dark and desolate road, you may want to pay the toll. Yes! Oh, the next horror extravaganza. Perhaps the next great horror movie villain? Give me a break. Everyone pays in the end. Yeah, especially when you watch this movie. Oh, man. An unforgettable ride. More like forget this shit. Ugh. So I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, okay? I don't know what the hell I was thinking, dude. But I kind of like the synopsis. And basically what it is this woman gets in this sort of Uber-style ride with this male driver. And they're going down this dark road, forest, deep in the woods. And the car breaks down. Unknown, plenty of gas, shouldn't it be an issue? It just breaks down. And suddenly they're sort of suspicious of one another, what's going on. You could be somebody that's gonna hurt me, you could be a person that's gonna hurt me too, and sort of look, well, wow, I gotta watch out for you, I don't trust you, right? However, it's not them that they have to worry about, it's what's outside of the car that they have to worry about, because they've been summoned by a dark entity that wants death, that wants them to pay the toll. And it's the Toll Man. I'm serious. I'm serious. The Toll Man. That's what it is. The Toll Man. Not the Tall Man. The Toll Man, okay? Oh, man. And basically, it's just a fight for survival, is what it is, dude. It's a fight for survival of them trying to survive the night and not giving the Toll Man what he truly wants. Yes. Oh, man. Okay, so look. Truth be told, the movie is not terrible. Okay, I went into this movie thinking this is going to be bad. Like, I was fully prepared for really bad. And it's not fully bad. I mean, the acting is actually pretty damn good in here. I like the drama between the driver and the passenger, right? Because at first it's sort of like, I don't know if I can trust you or you either, and what secrets are you holding? I like that. And then it kind of turns cheesy. Okay, then we start to get these, loud jump scares and things going in front of you just for the sake of getting you to jolt or scream. And we get the Toll Man. Yeah, that's what the Toll Man looks like. Pretty much it looks like a dude that's been in the black light for way too fucking long. Like that's him. Like it almost looks like basically the black light was shining over his face and realized that somebody jizzed all over his face, dude. Like literally he was sucking cock for way too long, man. And like it's all over. Like all over his mouth, his face. Like dude sprayed him good. Okay, that's whoa, god damn it, yeah, that's what it looks like, dude. Good gracious, man. And it's not really scary. It's not. I mean, there's some cool ideas here of the idea of the Toll Man can make you see things that aren't there, and they show like their parents that are manipulating them or people that have screwed with them in their lives, almost to get to them to the point of wanting to kill themselves or wanting to kill the other person. So it's definitely mind manipulation, and it's basically making them go mad in order to get them to do what he ultimately wants them to do. It's an interesting idea and an interesting concept, and there's moments where I liked it. Like there's one scene where like this old woman is driving up, right? And they see her and they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, we're here, call 911, whatever." And then she's like, "I think we're in the wrong time with each other." And then you realize like this woman has had an encounter with the Toll Man, and that she can see other people that are in peril, but they're hidden from the main road, that he's basically hidden them so you can't see them. Only the people that has been affected by the Toll Man can. So she says, "I'll call the police, I'll call the cops and your father and everything, but they're not going to be able to find you until this gets resolved, until one of you ends up killing the other." And that's what's going to happen. Until then, you're lost in time. I can't save you. And so there's an interesting bend to that I like. But man, is this thing like it was going good, and then they had to bring in the Toll Man, and it just, man, it started to dive down from there. And I mean, the last 5 minutes are kind of a cheap escape way to get out of the movie. Like there's a whole time in the movie where basically they're like saying, "Oh, well, I'm not a killer and I'm not a killer either and I'm not here to harm you." And then suddenly that switches on a dime in the last 10 to 5 minutes, and you're like, "Really? You just had no other way out of this, so you had to make one of them a killer and had to be done with it." Of course, like fuck you. You didn't even want to be creative, man. You just wanted to do something fucking predictable. Fuck you. Like seriously, man. I mean, these type of movies, man, it reminds me of like, the fucking Bye Bye Man or Slender Man, or there's even a movie called The Empty Man, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm serious, dude. I mean, this movie is better, okay? It's better than the Bye Bye Man. It's better than Slender Man. Oh shit, it's better. I mean, I'll give it props where props is due. It is better than those pieces of shit garbage, man. Ah, damn, but still, man. Fuck. like they try to make the Toll Man imposing and scary and creepy and almost like an urban legend come real, or something, or something like from a creepy pasta that you would think about, right? Some sort of like fable of don't go in the woods or something like that. But no, it just comes off as kind of laughably bad, and it's a real shame because the movie has promise, but damn did it fail, and it ended up failing hard. Shit.
The tall man, this motherfucker ain't. I'm just saying, man. I mean, God, I wish that we could send all of these people, the Bye Bye Man and the fucking Slender Man and now the Toll Man and all these really terrible new age horror villains that they try to like throw in our faces. Like I wish we could send them to movie jail and they'll never be seen ever again. However, I fear that the Toll Man is gonna haunt my dreams. Well, good thing I have Easy Pass. I can just pay the toll easily and completely forget you even exist. You ugly, terrible, limp dick motherfucker. And last, but definitely not least, the 10 Commandments! The 4K Blu-ray digital of the 10 Commandments. Yes, indeed. Look at that cover, man. I love that cover with parting the sea and the commandments on the stone and the lightning striking and yes, the commandments. I love that artwork, man. That's so great. Oh God, man, Jesus, the greatest epic of all time. Wow, man. You know, I've seen this movie. But damn, it's been a long time since I've seen this film. I'm not gonna lie, it's been like ages. So I don't really even remember much of it. I'm not gonna lie, but it was one that I had to watch. And I'm not gonna lie, like this is a movie that is an epic movie. Like when you talk about epic films, like you know, obviously there's Spartacus and there's Cleopatra and there's a lot of those other ones, but the Ten Commandments, man, that is an epic, dude. That is an epic. And anybody who is considering themselves a movie lover has to at least watch this once. Because it needs to be seen once. Just has somebody who is a film historian, somebody who appreciates film, the history of film. This has to be watched, man. And it is by far a really, really titan of a movie, man. Like I said, it's been a while since I've watched it, but I mean, just the epic scale of this film for the time that it was made is astounding to me. And it's everything from the costumes to the cinematography to the directing, the acting, the special effects for the time it was made. I mean, Charlton motherfucking Heston, man. I mean, he was at this time he was like the movie star. He truly was, man. He commanded the screen, and it shows, dude. This was like a who's who of actors at the time, man. So many really powerful actors. Edward G. Robinson. Hell, Vincent Price is in this movie. I'm serious, man. Vincent Price, and I believe John Carradine is as well, if I'm not mistaken, man. Like, I'm like, damn, dude. Like, this thing has a who's who of actors and great talent and artistry to it. It's an amazing, amazing movie. The stuff that I remember, it really lasts with you. I mean, this movie is loved by movie critics, by religious movie lovers who really love these type of movies. Anybody who's a movie historian really loves this stuff as well. It's just a really powerful movie that really has to be seen. And I'm assuming this is going to look good in 4K. I mean, it has no reason to not look good in 4K if the studio decides to really put the effort into this. And what I say to you guys is that 4K is really good for new movies. Like visual heavy movies, newer films are a lot of times really beautifully well done on 4K. But it's the older films that sometimes are a little touch and go. There's a lot of older movies, stuff from like the 70s and the 60s and you name it, that are on 4K that end up being a little bit rough in quality, I hate to say, man. A lot of people look at the 4K and be like, wow, this is really the best they could do. And a lot of times it's very underwhelming, but there is certain ones that come out really great, like Wizard of Oz, for instance, and a few other ones. So it depends on how far the studio is willing to go to clean the image up, to actually make it 4K worthy. I mean, this is a epic title. It's a beloved movie. I don't see why they wouldn't put the effort into it, but
You never know. But I mean, the Ten Commandments, if you don't do the Ten Commandments good, then man, God will even come after your ass. So you better do the 4K justice, man. Just saying. I mean, you got a lot of stuff here. You got 3 discs. You got the 4K on one disc and the special features. Then you've got the Blu-ray and special features and the Blu-ray feature film and special features as well. Wow. Okay, so you got a lot to unpack here, man, with this release. I mean, if you are a lover of old school epic movies, if you are love sort of old school religious movies, if you're a fan of Charlton Heston, or if you're even somebody that really loves movies, this is a movie worth diving into. It truly is. And the 4K, I would have to imagine, is going to look beautiful, man. I mean, the cover looks phenomenal. The special features look really fantastic here. And it's just a movie that has to be seen to be believed. Man, back in the day, dude, they did epics like No Man's Land, dude. I mean, they don't do epics like they used to do back in the day, man. And if movies like The Ten Commandments, dude, yeah, you could probably remake it today, but it wouldn't be half as good and half as memorable. And there's something about it being old school with those type of actors and that sort of time period and the special effects for that time that truly just make it stand out from the rest, man. I mean, it is a great goddamn movie. And honestly, if I didn't say that, I think God would strike my ass dead. I definitely think he or she would, man. That's for damn sure. Oh, some very interesting Walmart goodness this time around, man. Not half bad. Religious, weird horror villains, cancer diagnosis, and what the fuck? Oh, you never know what Walmart is going to bring you. And this week definitely had its fair share of interesting goodness. Religious epics, ah, cancer diagnosis. Make sure you pay the toll or you have to deal with this shitty rent-a-villain. And beware of the limp. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. Very interesting Walmart weirdness this time around, guys. Boy, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I definitely damn well did, man. That's for damn sure, man. And, look, at the end of the day, right, you know, physical is going to have its ups and downs, right? Look, some stores are going to have a lot, some stores are not going to have as much, but I think it's important to dive into all of the media as much as you possibly can. Why? Why should we dive into all of the media? I mean, you guys are just interested in Wonder Woman, right? No, I don't believe that. I think a lot of you guys are very interested in a lot of the other titles that are out there. Yes, the popular ones get them in the doorway, but there's a lot of really great unknown titles out there or obscure stuff that needs a lot of love. And maybe I might not agree with those titles. Maybe I like them. Maybe I think they're putrid. But I still want to show it off to you guys because I think it's vitally important to give you the full perspective of what's out there. And look, to me, guys, at the end of the day, physical media is important with every single aspect. It doesn't mean just DVDs, it doesn't mean just Blu-rays, and it doesn't mean just 4K. It means the whole wide spectrum, giving you the whole enchilada. Because for me, in order to truly appreciate physical media and movies, you gotta see the whole picture. And I truly feel that showing all of this off, the good, the bad, the ugly, the downright weird, it's all important. Because at the end of the day, some of you guys are going to want to know about these titles, and I truly feel that it's part of my job to try to bring that to you. So I hope you appreciate these sections. I really honestly do. Sometimes I find some really odd and weird stuff, but I always feel that it's important to show off regardless because you never know who is going to enjoy them, and I feel like I have to give you guys the full wide perspective. And at the end of the day, if I do that, if you guys appreciate it just a little bit, then I've done my job. Just saying, guys. But a little bit definitely goes a long way, dare I say, especially with that stack. And speaking of physical media, we still got one more place to go to. So let's hope that we see some more physical media goodness worth checking out. All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location. And like every week, it's good to still be checking out physical media, and it's always good to check out the Beast. Yes, indeed, we are at our next location, Best Buy, baby. The Beast, Best Buy. So what does the Beast have in store for us this week? Well, let's hope some physical media goodness. That's one. Secondly, maybe an exclusive or two. It's two. And let's hope that we see some Wonder Woman goodness, which has not always been the easiest thing this week. Not at all. So, I don't know. Let's see if they can accomplish all three, shall we? Let's go into the Beast and find out. All right, we are in at Best Buy, ladies and gentlemen, and okay, we got a lot of Wonder Woman 84 love I'm seeing, baby. We got the DVD for $17.99, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $24.99, some 4K love for $29.99, and that's not all. Yes, we are seeing the collectible only at Best Buy Steelbook 4K Blu-ray digital for $34.99, and I gotta admit, this is a pretty tasty steel, man. It looks good. I like the colors. I like Wonder Woman's stance there, looking badass, waiting to jump into action. I like that, man. That's actually a pretty cool steelbook. I'm not gonna lie, man. And compared to this, I actually like this art better. And ooh, that's kind of tough. I actually like this art a little bit better, but I like this art too. Interesting, man. It's good to see some exclusive Best Buy love. That's for damn sure. Now, you know, it's interesting, right? Because it's hard for superhero sequels to live up to the original. It's very, very tough, man. It's not easy to pull off. Let's be real here. Some, I think, do a decent job, don't get close, but do decent. I think when you look at movies like Batman Returns, I think you look at The Dark Knight, I think if you look at Superman 2, and there's a whole host of others that are really, really well done. I mean, Captain America Winter Soldier, another one that's really, really solid as well. And then there's a lot of superhero sequels that really miss the mark, man. I mean, I'm talking about Blade Trinity, which is a pretty piss-poor sequel. I'm looking at You, Spider-Man 3. I'm sorry, I don't care how much Tobey Maguire dances. It don't save it. Okay, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is a pretty rough sequel, man. That's like putting all the cooks in the kitchen, man, and they couldn't come up with something good. That's rough, dude. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. I hate to say that, dude, because I kind of like it because when I was a kid, but I recognize as an adult that's not good. Even the one with Richard Pryor. Like, it's kind of funny because Pryor's in it, but if I were to say it's actually kind of good, I'd probably be lying. I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, you've also got Batman and Robin, which is one of the pinnacles of shittiness I've ever seen in my life, dude. I mean, you got Thor the Dark World, and even though I'm a fan of Iron Man 2, it's a lesser sequel than the first Iron Man movie, and I could sort of go on and on from there, man. I mean, truth be told, Wonder Woman, as far as sort of comic book movies are concerned, as far as like a character that people wanted on the big screen, was always kind of a joke within comic books. Always made fun of, you know, the male counterparts were better. And that first movie proved everybody wrong. It really shut the haters up, and it made a believable, strong Wonder Woman character. And this one, I don't think really does Wonder Woman justice. I really don't. I don't think it does the villain justice. I mean, Wonder Woman has never had a great villain roster anyways. But, I mean, it could have always been better, man. I mean, even in the 80s, it felt like a really great opportunity. But, again, there's so much missed opportunities about previous time periods that she could have been in, and why pick the 80s if you're not really going to utilize it well enough? I would actually rather see a Wonder Woman sequel that took place after Justice League. Like, be in the really modern, complete modern world after Justice League, after all of the stuff has happened, and now that she's revealed herself and come back out again, who is she now in the modern world after hiding for as long as she did? I would have loved to have seen that, and maybe they'll explore that in the third Wonder Woman movie. I mean, I know we're going to get it. I mean, they pretty much said that Patty Jenkins is going to come back, Gal Gadot, obviously, and I'm looking forward to it, but I got to admit that I think there's only way to go is up here, because, I mean, I just don't think that this movie really holds a candle to that first film. Not at all, man. I mean, that first film had such great action and great characters and great plot, and the story was well done. The costumes and just the setting, everything worked for that movie. This one, it felt like the complete opposite, which was a real shame, dude. I mean, would I say it's as worse as Batman and Robin? No. Batman and Robin is much worse. Blade Trinity is much worse. Superman Quest for Peace is way worse. And Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, I mean, they're all worse. So this is much better than some of your other really crappy superhero sequels. But as far as, like, being a very disappointing and let down superhero sequel, yeah, it's there, man, and I can't deny that. It's definitely there. So it's a real shame, but at the end of the day, I gotta be real and honest with you guys. I mean, I'm looking forward to where Wonder Woman goes, especially after seeing the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, which I think she's awesome in. And I think Patty Jenkins, who has proven that she could make a great Wonder Woman movie, I think she could do something well. But for all the hype that this movie had, it didn't deliver. And that's the truth of it, man. There is still moments here that I really like the movie, but they are few and far between, man. And if I had to pick between the first Wonder Woman or 84, I'm picking the first one, man. I mean, no doubt. And I think the majority of people would probably do the same thing, man. You got some interesting features here. You got the making of Wonder Woman 84, some featurettes, scene studies, interesting collection of featurettes, man. Maybe years down the line, I'll revisit Wonder Woman 84 again. Maybe down the line, I will revisit it, and maybe I'll give it a chance in the future after the dust settles and after I can, give it some time to sink in a little bit more. But, I think the DCEU has been very inconsistent. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Man of Steel. Batman vs. Superman had its moments. I loved Wonder Woman. Shazam is okay to decent. Aquaman, I wasn't in love with, but I still think it's okay. Suicide Squad is really terrible. Joss Whedon's cut of Justice League is piss poor. And now Wonder Woman 84 is just kind of lackluster. I mean, where are we going with the DCEU? Where is it all headed? Where's the plan? I mean, I know we're getting Black Adam, we're getting another Shazam, I know we're getting another Aquaman, we're eventually going to get another Wonder Woman, we're getting Flash, but is it leading to anything? Is it cohesive? It's just doing whatever at this point. I think Marvel in this way is superior, and I am looking forward to Black Widow, but think about this for a second, guys. Before Black Widow and Wonder Woman 84 came out, we kept saying, "Oh, Wonder Woman 84 is gonna like blow the hinges off of Black Widow. It's gonna destroy Black Widow." And now Black Widow has a chance to be better than Wonder Woman 84. Like a year ago, we would never have been saying that shit, but now we kind of are, and it's wild to think that. Wonder Woman 84 had a chance to really be awesome and really cement Wonder Woman's place within superhero movie stardom, and just kind of went out with a whimper. Sad, but true. We need better for my gal Wonder Woman. We need much better. And let's hope the third installment does it. We're just gonna have to wait a few years to find out. Let's hope, guys. But not bad, man. I mean, Steelbook love, 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD. All of the formats represented, baby. Not half bad. Not seeing anything else over here, but we'll check in the back and see if they got anything else to check out. And over on the back side here, guys, yeah, it's kind of bare. It's pretty bare over here. However, there is still a few things worth noting over here. They do have the varieties of Wonder Woman 84 over in the back side here. They do have the Blu-ray digital of The Toll for $16.99. Now, God, what more can I really add to this movie, I guess? Oh, man. Good Lord. I guess to say that it's really hard to make memorable, lasting horror villains nowadays. Am I wrong in assuming that? It really does, because, you know, you look back at the 70s, the 80s, I mean, my God, man, there were so many of them. Even the 90s had some really long-lasting horror villains that still lasted to this day. Early 2000s, there was a few here and there, but it seems like it's getting really harder to do it. I mean, they're trying everything, man. I mean, they're trying the Bye-Bye Man. They're trying Slender Man. Now they're trying the Toll Man. I mean, what are we gonna do next? I just want to know, man. I mean, my God, what am I in for next with these things, dude? I mean, maybe we were spoiled. Is it possible that we were spoiled from the 80s and the 90s with, you know, the Jasons and the Michaels and the Freddy Kruegers and the Chuckies and the Pinheads and, you know, even going further down the line, you know, Jeepers Creepers and so many other ones. I mean, were we spoiled with that stuff? Like, you know, the Tall Man and all these really great iconic villains of the time, Leatherface and so many more. I mean, I kind of feel like the creativity, the bar is kind of lowered a bit. Maybe the bar has been so high that it had to be lowered, but I mean, the problem is you don't get to see enough of the Toll Man for him to be really all that effective. You see a glimpse here, a glimpse there, a jump scare or two, and that's it. I mean, that's all you get, man. And that's a real fucking shame, dude. I kind of feel like we just don't have as good of a horror villain back then. I mean, the only one that I can remember recently that I thought was really effective was Sinister. The bad guy in Sinister I thought was really effective, really bold. Love that one. And I guess there's a couple other ones that have come and gone here and there, but nothing really lasting, though. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, can we ever get back to iconic horror villains, or are we gonna keep recycling the old ones over and over again? I mean, like I said, I love the old school ones. You know, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, all those stuff that have been reinvented over the years constantly. And there's still a lot of creativity there. And of course, you have the newer ones that have come and of course have lasted. But I'm kind of curious, when is the last time that you guys truly saw a horror villain and said, that is a lasting horror villain? Truly. Because I'm telling you guys, when you look at the Toll Man, that is not a lasting villain. I got to tell you, he's as lame as shit as the Bye-Bye Man and Slender Man. I'm just wondering, are we going to get, like, Toilet Man next? Like, oh, be careful when you sit on the toilet, because you could incur the wrath of the Toilet Man. So when you flush, you're flushing into his hell. Oh my God, did I just make one? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, dude. Man, I just want good horror villains. I mean, I guess I should just stick with the ones I know, but I want more creativity. I want some good ones, man. Damn. I know I'm asking too much, dude. I'm so asking too much. Can a horror movie lovers get some new, great, memorable horror villains up in this bitch? Damn, dude. Fuck. Paying the Toll Man featurette. Oh, Paying the Toll Man. I only got pennies and quarters, so I mean, I guess I could give him some of my blood, but I mean, it is kosher. He might not take it. Let's hope not. Oh man. Then I'm also seeing, they actually finally have the Blu-ray of Castle Freak. It only took them like a few weeks to do it. $12.99 for this one. Now, I did talk about this in the last Out and About, and I'll just say this, dude. This is a wild as hell remake, man. This is craziness. I mean, if you were to have told me before I actually ever watched this that there would be creature on human penetration, there would end up being a crossover with the Reanimator franchise. The Necronomicon shows up, and suddenly we've got like Cthulhu up in this bitch. I would have been like, "What, are you fucking kidding me?" But dude, this thing is wild, man. It's a mess of a movie. Some of the effects are cool. Some of the kills are pretty interesting. I like the blood and gore effects. Damn, man. If you were to have told me the simple Castle Freak movie from Full Moon turns into this, woo! I don't know if I would believe your ass, but believe it or not, it's true. Man, this is probably one of the wildest remakes I've ever seen. As far as like taking the original movie and turning it into this. That's wild, dude. That's crazy wild, man. It's got to be seen to be believed. Put it that way. I recommend watching it, but man, what an experience you're in for. Just saying, man. Shit. That's a fascinating one. And then the only other thing I'm seeing over here, which is worth noting, is actually, I believe, the steelbook right here of Gattaca for $24.99 is all sold out. They sold out completely of Gattaca. I am so happy that I picked up a steelbook edition of Gattaca, man. I didn't actually think it was going to sell out. Like, truth be told, like, they still have decent copies of Friday the 13th Part 2, but I was not expecting them to sell out completely of Gattaca. Like, that's wild, man. I mean, I'm like so happy I got it because I love the movie, dude. But I'm shocked to actually see that sold out, man. Glad I got one because I have a feeling now that one's going to be hard to find down the line. I just have a wild feeling about that one. And yet somebody bought Scare Me. What? Don't buy Friday the 13th Part 2, but you buy Scare Me? Really? Whatever, guys. Not much to show off here in general, but a few things do go a long way. You know, just saying, guys. Alright. Guess it's time to head out. So they did have physical media, they had Wonder Woman, and they had the exclusive this week. So they did tick all the boxes, to be fair. Just not really all that good otherwise. Jeez. It is a lesser physical media week, to be fair. I'll kind of cut them some slack a little bit, but the Beast is kind of turning a little bit lame, dare I say, man. But look, I was actually prepared to come in here and not see the exclusive this week. Like, I'm serious. Like, I was ready to come in here to this Best Buy and be like, okay, they're not going to have the Steelbook here. They're going to be all out. And actually, they did. And I was surprised by it. Because some of the ones we've missed before, like Soul and some of the other ones, I was mightily prepared. But, no, it did surprise me. So I'm very happy camper on that, guys. And a couple exclusives for Wonder Woman this week. Not half bad. But as far as Best Buy is concerned, dude, look at this, man. I want to show you guys. Look at this. Holy shit, guys. Look at this. This is like massively not stocked. Completely empty, dude. Over here as well. Look at this. Damn, man. And the same thing over here as well. Massively not stocked, dude. Something's going on with Best Buy. I think they're going to be shortening the shelves and not putting out as much physical media, but that really bums me out because I'm a physical media lover. I love having physical media around, dude. I mean, I get it. it's not going to be selling as much, but if you don't put it out, people are not going to buy it, man. You got to put the shit out. You got to stock it, man. Then people are going to buy it. I've seen people literally be over in these areas and literally try to look for certain titles, and they can't find it, and they leave. They would have bought it had they been here. I mean, it's not hard to stock the physical media, man. It's not that difficult. Get in the titles, but they're just not doing it, and they're hurting physical media because of it, dude. And now they're probably going to lower the shelves and not have as much media out, and it's just gonna hurt physical media sales. And then I'm gonna hear, oh, physical media really isn't selling. Well, it's not selling because you're lowering the physical media and you're not stocking it, and people can't find it. Dude, I could go on and on and on. You guys know I love physical media, and I hate to see this. This saddens my heart so much, dude, but this has kind of become the norm. I hate to admit it, guys. So sad, dude. I'd like to see it be better, but that's like a physical media fanboy's wet dream. It's just ain't gonna happen. Just put it that way, man. It ain't gonna happen, dude. Sad to say, but it's the truth, dude. But hey, at least we got something this week with Best Buy, and something is better than nothing, at least nowadays with the Beast. That's for damn sure. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head home. Finish the video. Wait a second. Yeah, I know, I said we were going home, weren't we? Yeah, I know. But I feel like I kind of gotta go to one more spot for you guys. Just one more to show off some more physical media love. And I figure I haven't really been back to this location in a little bit of time. I just kind of wanted to see what they had. Figured, what the hell, man? Might as well take an extra trip. So we're going to one more location, one more stop along the way, and maybe we're seeing a little bit of different media, whatever they have in store. And we are at our last location, and that is none other than Barnes and Nobles, baby. It's been a while since I've been here, since November for the Criterion sale, so I don't know what I'm in store for, but you know, usually they have a little bit of different media we're showing off, so why not give it a go? So one more stop along the way. Let's see what we find. Well, we're into the music and DVD section. Let's see what we can find. Oh, and the first thing I'm seeing here, I know we definitely haven't seen yet, and that is David Tennant in Dez, a Sundance Now exclusive series. I did hear about this show, but I've never actually seen it before. What is this about? David Tennant, a breathtaking and career-defining performance, is one of the most infamous serial killers in British history. Dennis Nilsen, known as the Kindly Killer, this was an amusing civil servant who spent 5 years murdering young men. He went on the streets of Soho when he was finally caught in 1983. 15 men. Whoa. Wow, I do not know anything about the true story of this dude. Maybe I need to catch up on my serial killers. Like, I'm serious. Like, I know nothing about this dude. Wow. Damn, this is real. This was like a thing back in the day. 15 men. Seriously. Ooh, this, I gotta admit, this sounds really intriguing, man. And with David Tennant, I mean, most people know David Tennant through Doctor Who. That's like the most popular thing he was ever in. However, if you're a fan of Harry Potter, he was in Harry Potter. I really liked him in that series not too long back, Good Omens, that religious comedy series, which is actually really fun. I really like that one a lot. And he has played some really good bad guys before. Like, I really liked him in that movie Bad Samaritan. I mean, the movie's not that great, but he's really good in it. Very creepy and very badass. Really good in that. And I really liked him as the villain in Jessica Jones. Thought he was really great in that one as well. Thought it was awesome in Jessica Jones, man. Huh. You know, it kind of reminds me, I'm reading the synopsis, it reminds me very much of almost something like Dahmer. Right? Like Dahmer bringing the guys back and killing them. Just doing weird shit, man. I mean, you could do a huge deep dive into serial killers, man. Whether it's Dahmer or Gacy, you name it, man. I mean, there's so many serial killer movies and TV shows out there, dude. My God, there's so many to name. I've never heard of this one, though. But I gotta admit, with David Tennant and the story, it actually really intrigues me. This one might be definitely worth watching. Oh, and they even have that Breaking Bad limited edition El Camino steelbook. Look at that. Limited edition, man. I know this came out a while back, but I never found it in any of the stores until now. Oh, nice. Ooh, Breaking Bad. El Camino. Now, I actually saw this on Netflix. So I gotta admit to you guys, and I think I've said it before, but I have never ever seen a single episode of Breaking Bad. I've not one single episode, and I know I get killed from you guys. Why haven't you watched any Breaking Bad? I know I gotta watch it. I do. It's my bad. But you want to know what, man? I decided. You want to know what? Maybe it's bad of me to watch El Camino before I've watched any other thing of Breaking Bad ever, but I figured why not watch it? It's on Netflix. I'm going to see if I may enjoy it. And I got to admit, even though I didn't know what the hell was going on, any of the main storyline stuff, I was intrigued. I really enjoyed this movie, man. I really did. Diving into this guy who is in this prison and trying to break out, and people that are trying to frame him, and who can he trust and who can't he, and his past coming back to haunt him. Really intriguing stuff, man. Stuff that I really enjoyed. I mean, the storyline and everything went way over my head, dude. I mean, seriously, there were times where I'm like, what exactly is going on? I'm like, oh, I probably needed to have watched episode, 90 or something to know what the hell was going on. And stuff went way over me. But I got to admit, I really, really enjoyed it, man. I mean, I thought that Aaron Paul was awesome here. He's straddling the line between comedy, drama, and horror. I mean, there's this great sequence in the movie where this guy who lets him out of his cell, he's trying to wrap up a dead body, and they're wrapping up this body, right? And he's kind of joking with him, and it's all very mundane, but you're just on the edge of your seat because you don't know what the fuck is going to happen, and who's going to blink first? Is he going to blink? Is the criminal going to? What's going to happen here, man? And I love how they straddle that line between comedy and drama perfectly. I mean, truly, man, I thought this was extremely well done, extremely well made. Vince Gilligan, I know, was one of the writers and producers on The X-Files, if I'm not mistaken. And I know that he's been doing Better Call Saul, which that's another show that I've never seen before. But I gotta admit, watching El Camino, I was intrigued all the way through. And I just loved the intrigue. I loved the idea that, you couldn't like be behind your back for a second because somebody's going to come at you and somebody's going to like double cross you and you don't see what's coming. I mean, some of that stuff is really great, man. I thought El Camino was awesome. So for me, dude, this was really well made and really well done. If the show is as good as this is, honestly, I could get into it. Oh, and then I gotta stop over in the Criterion Collection area, don't I? I mean, if you're at Barnes & Noble's, kinda have to do that, guys. And the one release that came out this week, I know, Defending Your Life. Yes, the new Criterion Collection release. Very nice, man. Albert Brooks, Meryl Streep. The first true story of what happens after you die. I like that cover. Judgment City, just minutes away. Turn left onto the Past Lives Parkway. Oh, wonderful. The DVD and the Blu-ray as well. Nice. Now, this, I actually really, really love this movie. I've actually seen it, guys. True story. It was years and years ago that I saw it, and I believe I saw it on like HBO years ago when I was a kid, man. That or Cinemax, something like that. And I've always loved this movie. I've technically always really loved Albert Brooks because Albert Brooks is a great comedic actor that doesn't nearly get enough love for some of the movies that he's made. He's made some really, really great stuff, man. But he always kind of gets overshadowed and overlooked. But the movies he's done have been really, really great. Really great satire and just really great sort of thinking man's funny comedy, dare I say. And Defending Your Life is great. Basically, it's about this guy who, of course, dies. And in order to get to the next phase of existence towards heaven, he has to be defended. Technically, basically, his life is being judged in a courtroom. And if he wins, he gets to go to the next evolutionary stage. If he doesn't, well, he's destined to get reborn in a baby's body and start his life all over again. He better have made the right choice in his life, or he is screwed. It's a great movie, man. It's great. I love the comedy here. Like, there's some really great comedy with him and his lawyer. And then I love the sort of juxtaposition of his relationship with Meryl Streep and how they sort of found each other in the afterlife. And like, just as he's sort of getting used to the afterlife, he's got to defend himself in a courtroom. And of course, there's like a judge, and there's the prosecution and the defense, and it's just like every little thing in his life is literally analyzed to the letter and judged. The good things that he's done, the bad things that he's done. It's great. I love it. And it's really just made me think about, oh my God, what about my own life? Like, I've done some really sketchy things, guys. I am so not going up the evolutionary ladder. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Oh my God. I am so not, man. But this is a really funny movie, man, that I think people really should take a look at. When the Criterion sale happens, again, I believe July, I'm definitely going to want to pick this up because I love this movie. I haven't watched this movie in ages, but I love it. And if you've never dived into more Albert Brooks comedies, definitely do it. The one I can recommend, the one that I love so much, other than Defending Your Life, and my mother loves it as well, the movie's called Mother, with him and Debbie Reynolds. And it's so fucking hilarious, man. Just about a mother and son relationship and getting older and dealing with your past. And so good, man. So good, man. And the same with Defending Your Life. Albert Brooks, immensely underrated, but so funny. So impossibly funny, man. Damn. I'm so glad they put this out. Like, this is one of those movies that I think has easily gotten forgotten by time. Like, I don't know if many people really truly remember this movie. They're certainly not a popular movie. But that's kind of what I like about Criterion. They do things that are not always the most popular, but they find a nice niche for people who really enjoy those type of movies that have been lost in time. And Defending Your Life is definitely one of them. Nice. Very nice, man. And very nice, interesting stuff. I mean, they got a decent amount of stuff here. The Criterion Collection, television, HBO, current TV, contemporary stuff, British TV. Come on, you gotta love that. And they even have some DVDs over here and everything. Not half bad stuff. Pretty decent, dare I say. Alright. I was expecting not the greatest, but I was definitely surprised. Who'd have thought? Alright. Let's head out. Oh, dude. I gotta tell ya, I don't come into Barnes & Nobles very often, but just seeing some of these movies here on the shelves, damn, man, it just reminds me of why I'm a movie lover and why I love physical media as much as I do. And I just wish that everybody could have these type of selection of movies that Barnes & Nobles does. I mean, they don't have a huge selection, but I gotta love the stuff that they have, man. I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm just going through some of the stuff here. I mean, Harry and the Hendersons? I mean, so great. They got It's a Mad World, Pretty Woman, The Nutty Professor with Jerry Lewis. I love that movie so much. Oh my god. Taming of the Shrew. Oh man. Dude, so cool. Even over here, man, some of the stuff I've been seeing over here is great. Oh god, the original Point Break. American Graffiti. Oh, so good. Dude, look at this. Oh, like this. First Wives Club, which I love. Risky Business. Pee-wee's Adventure. I'm just straight up nostalgia, man. I'm loving this stuff. Even over here, like I'm seeing. Oh, they got Excalibur. Got the Omega Man. The Hammer Films collection. Oh my god, dude. I kind of was really happy I took this trip to Barnes and Noble, dude. I mean, sometimes you have to be reminded that physical media is really great and it still means a lot, and that, you know, that the old school stuff is still precious. And this place, I just wish every place was kind of like this, dude. I could literally be in here just diving into the media constantly. I know they probably kick me out eventually, but seriously. And even some of the soundtracks. They got like the Fly soundtrack. It's really cool. They got, oh, look at that. Ah, oh, nice. They got Unforgiven. Look at that. Dude. Man, Crimes of Grindelwald, Fantastic Beasts. Meatloaf. Oh god. Oh man, dude. I love it here. I really do, man. And the old school DVDs and some of the stuff in here, dude, it's awesome. It's awesome, I'm not gonna lie. Really, really awesome. So, dude, I could literally spend hours just pining through the movies and remembering all the good times, and damn, dude. God. Alright. Sometimes it's nice to be reminded that you're a movie lover. And this definitely makes me remember how much I love movies in a big bad way. God, I do. Alright, well, enough nostalgia. Now, we'll head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And, you know, it started out a little rocky, not gonna lie. And at first I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my god, we're seriously only probably going to see Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, cool. Fine, if that's what we see, it's what we see, but the second Walmart pulled through. We see a little bit of extra media here and there at Best Buy, and then going to Barnes and Noble's, man, was great. It was a great trip, and I got to see some interesting media that I hadn't seen yet in any of the stores before, and just perusing Barnes and Noble and checking out some of the DVDs, man. You know, sometimes, as I said, at Barnes & Noble's, you really need to be reminded sometimes why you love physical media. And sometimes when you go into these stores and you don't see a lot of physical media love, sometimes you think to yourself, oh man, this is just a heartbreak every single week sometimes. And going into Barnes & Noble's and seeing some of the old school media and the titles that you just don't see at any of these other stores, it just was a really nice reminder of how great physical media can be when you find some really unique and wonderful gems out there. And, you know, things that really remind you of why you became a movie lover in the first place. And it was just a really great boost for me in a big bad way, man. I mean, physical media, I love it every single week. The ups, downs, it doesn't matter. But, you know, sometimes you need a good reminder of why you love it. And that was a really great trip to take, man. It really honestly was. So, a little of a downer of a physical media week, but some things still worth giving a go to. Definitely check out the stores, guys. Let me know what you picked up. As far as I'm concerned, well, I got no mysterious packages in the mail. Most of my main pickups for March are already taken care of, so not really anything majorly as far as package wise is concerned. However, I still did pick up some gold though. Not gonna lie, I got some really good stuff, man. Now, the first thing I actually picked up for the week is actually the 4K Blu ray digital of Soul. Yes, I picked this thing up, man. I actually forgot to pick it up last week. I thought to myself, I was like, oh my god, I love the movie so much and I forgot to get it. And I went this week and I rectified that problem, man. I love this movie, man. I mean, it is, man, such a really vivid experience with the colors and yet with the story, and it has a lot of heart and soul, and it's just a really great reminder of to enjoy the little things in life that make living truly worth it. And man, this is just an awesome film. Again, I'm not much for an animated movie guy for the most part, but when I love an animated movie, I love an animated movie, and this one definitely does the trick, man. So I love this movie, so good, dude. Finally picked up Soul. I also ended up picking up the Blu-ray of I Am Lisa. Now, if you guys remember last week, I showed off the DVD of I Am Lisa, and somebody in the comment section asked me whether I end up buying or keeping any of the stuff that I find at the second Walmart. And this is a prime example of that, where I really love the synopsis. I love this sort of werewolf revenge thriller, which looks really cool. And I was kind of curious whether it was on Blu-ray. And it was. I had to order it directly from Best Buy, but I did get it. I am looking forward to checking this thing out, man. I love good werewolf movies. I mean, yes, they are few and far between now compared to back in the day, but I mean, things like American Werewolf in London, Bad Moon. Oh my God, man! I mean, some of the underworld stuff that I've really loved. So much really great stuff out there. The Howling, of course, and so much more, dude. The old school Wolfman. I love a good werewolf flick, and I'm looking for a really solid new one that I can sink my teeth into. And I think I Am Lisa is definitely gonna be one of those. It's a blind buy, but I'm definitely gonna give it a go, man. So this is a prime example of picking out something that looked quite interesting to me and giving it a chance. So that's what I did with that one, guys. Then I also ended up picking up the Scream Factory release of Event Horizon. Oh my god, guys, look at this beauty. Look at that. Oh, that is nice, man. And on the inside, the theatrical art as well. Oh, I love that art so much, man. Oh, this is awesome. I knew when Scream Factory announced this title, I knew I was gonna pick it up, man. And I got it through Diabolic DVD, and man, this movie, I remember when I first watched this movie, and I think I watched it on like Cinemax or something late at night, and it blew my fucking mind away. Like, I'm serious. Like, I was not expecting the movie that I got. I mean, the sci-fi horror. I mean, I had loved sci-fi horror anyways from like movies like Alien, but this was like wild experience of like almost like the ship going to hell and coming back, and it carried everything back with it. And I was like, my god, it was like almost like a haunted ghost ship in like sci-fi form. It was so awesome, and it was memorable, and it stuck with me to this day. I think it's the best film that Paul W.S. Anderson ever directed. I mean, you got Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill. It's so good, dude. The design of the ship, everything. This is like perfect sci-fi horror. Perfect, man. Oh man, some of the great features on there as well. Dude, I mean, I had the old school Blu-ray for quite a long time, but now I can get rid of this and keep the Scream Factory Edition, baby. I am looking forward to diving into this, man. I love Event Horizon. One of my favorite sci-fi films of all time and one of my favorite horror films of all time, man. This is a true gem, dude. I'm so glad to have this, man. So glad to have this in the collection. Ah, more to add to the Scream Factory goodness, bro. And I also ended up picking up at Target. I decided to do it, man. I did. I pulled the trigger. I don't know why. I just decided, what the hell, man. And that is none other than, oh, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Digital of Back to the Future trilogy, baby. Oh my god. Man, I could not believe that I found this at Target for $60. Now, I know $60 seems like a lot, but it's $20 per movie. They're on 4K. It's the Steelbooks. I mean, that's a damn good deal, dude. And the box itself is in perfect condition. There was a couple of other ones that the boxes were a little crushed in. This is in perfect condition, man. Dude, I cannot tell you how many times I've owned Back to the Future. Like, seriously, I've owned Back to the Future so many damn times. I've owned it on VHS. I've owned it on DVD. I've owned it on Blu-ray, and now I own it on 4K. And why the hell not? I mean, it's the 35th anniversary edition. You know that we're gonna get a 40th anniversary set. We're gonna get a 45th anniversary. We're gonna get a 50th anniversary. It's just gonna keep on going every 5 years, man. So we're glutton for punishment. It's gonna have another great set that we're gonna want to buy. But honestly, I had to get it, dude, for $60 and the steelbooks. That's solid gold as far as I'm concerned, man. I had to do it, dude. Oh, I love this trilogy so much, man. And to get it in 4K, dude, so happy. So beyond happy, dude. Love that, man. And last but certainly not least, over at Barnes & Nobles, I was going through, man, and I couldn't believe I found it, which was really cool. I got the Blu-ray of The Outsiders, the complete novel. This is the Francis Ford Coppola cut, the extended cut. Now, I haven't seen The Outsiders in forever, man. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, man, but it's one of the best coming-of-age movies of all time. The actors in here, the young actors that became superstars, are fucking wild, man. In fact, I was talking to the guy who rung me out over at Barnes and Nobles, and he had never heard of this movie before, and he's looking at all the actors. He's like, oh my god, this is all these actors and Francis Ford Coppola. And I was like, dude, you've got to watch this, man. I gotta admit, out of Francis Ford Coppola's filmography, I mean, obviously we talk about the Godfather trilogy, and we talk about obviously Apocalypse Now and some of the other titles that he's done, and The Outsiders is one of those ones where I do think it kind of gets a little bit lost in the shuffle somewhat. I mean, not completely, but it still gets lost a bit. But it's such a phenomenal movie. I haven't watched it in ages. I'm dying to check out the extended cut of the movie with the commentaries and the special features. And I paid like $8 and change for this, which is awesome. I don't have it in the collection. Wow that I don't, but wow, man, I'm in shock that I picked it up, dude. It's awesome. I can't believe I found it, dude. I went digging a little bit, and I found gold. That's for damn sure, man. And look at this. Oh my god, man. This is pretty damn cool. I'm not going to lie, man. All the pickups that I got. Woo! I went hunting in a big, bad way, guys. I did. All that physical media goodness that I got for the week. I am a very happy physical media lover. That is for damn sure, guys. So good. So good. Physical media love all the time. You gotta love it. And you definitely gotta appreciate it. And before I let you guys go, I gotta talk about a very interesting article. And that has to do with DVDs. DVD mail service. Yeah. In fact, Netflix DVD mail service. The former Netflix DVD library is a lost treasure we'll never see again. Let's dive into this. It's a strange feeling to look back to a time nearly 10 years ago and think, that was a golden era, wasn't it? It feels like it should take longer than a decade for that kind of clarity to develop, but the more time I spend looking at the streaming service landscape as a paced staff writer, the more I find myself returning to the same conclusion. Netflix as a service could once say it offered a film library that was unmatched by any other archive of films in the world. Just a decade ago, the physical media library possessed by Netflix was well beyond 100,000 titles strong, offering a staggering degree of diversity that essentially made it the equivalent of the best stock video store in the world. At its peak, in fact, the number of DVD titles possessed by Netflix would have dwarfed the entire streaming libraries of all the major streamers today combined. And now, 10 years later, the DVD library has become a lost treasure, undervalued, hacked to pieces, mothballed, and generally a hollow shell of its former self. Rest assured, though, Netflix still sends out DVDs. But the scope of that film library has shrunk precipitously, reflecting a lack of interest both from the company and the movie-going public. In the face of easy, instant access via streaming, consumers were simply all too happy to sacrifice comprehensiveness. We traded in a library of 100,000 titles for one that currently has less than 4,000, and we're never going to get the former back. There's no telling how long even the gutted version of DVD.com will continue to operate, but I imagine many people will still be going down with the ship. At its peak in either 2010 or 2011, according to conflicting reports, Netflix's DVD delivery service numbered around 20 million subscribers. And the company was sending out in the neighborhood of 12 million DVDs per week. Upwards of 50 distribution centers around the country ran the operation, which last year reported it had shrunk to only 17 outlets. Now, Vox conversely says the entire DVD.com operation is run out of a single facility in Fremont, California, but regardless of the actual numbers, it's impossible to miss a contraction of this wing of Netflix's business, which now represents significantly less than 1% of the company's overall revenue. Yeesh. Now, it's such a minor part of the business, obviously. Now, the streaming version of Netflix, meanwhile, reached 203.7 million paid subscribers in the fourth quarter of 2020. That's kind of wild if you actually compare the two. Now, by any metric, it's plain to see that the DVD.com service isn't receiving much attention. In years past, Netflix's quarterly earnings statements contain data on expenditures towards purchasing DVDs and Blu-rays for the service, which were as high as $77 million in 2016, that quickly dropped to $54 million in 2017, and only $38.5 million in 2018. In 2019, the company stopped reporting this figure, as it had apparently become too minuscule to bother including. Now, it might not happen tomorrow, but DVD.com's days are surely numbered. The service has become a relic, operating with little interest even from its parent company. The size and scope of its physical film library continues to dwindle, and when it finally closes up shop, it will have lost the last vestiges of what was once the greatest and broadcast movie library ever assembled. The shrinking of the physical Netflix DVD library has been a simple enough process to observe for customers who are paying attention to their queue of upcoming deliveries. As the years have gone by, I've watched my own queue be decimated by this process, with titles first moving from queue to saved to then disappearing from the service entirely. Many films I borrowed from Netflix in the last decade no longer show up at all when searched at DVD.com, and they're exactly the sort of movies you would expect to see disappearing. Cult films, foreign films, obscure titles, B-movies, and much more. It's the kind of stuff you can imagine an exec reasoning that no one would miss it. Presumably sold off over the last decade as various shipping/storage centers and warehouses have been consolidated. These types of films were clearly never the engine that drove the service, even in its glory days. But access to these obscure or unusual titles was the primary reason I first signed up for the DVD delivery service, along with other weirdo, kindred spirit film geeks. Over time, DVD.com has become less and less useful for this purpose. At the same time, it's easy to miss that the streaming side of Netflix has actually contracted significantly during the same period as well, a symptom of the diversification and general crowding of the streaming content market. According to industry analyst Streaming Observer, the number of movie titles streaming on Netflix has shrunk by around 40% since 2014, from 6,494 to less than 3,800 today. That might seem surprising, as it would be natural to assume a service like Netflix gets bigger and broader every year, but it's not really the case. Instead, the overall direction for the company as a whole in recent years has been less overall content, but more marketing and focus on each individual piece of new content. So where did those streaming titles go? Well, the rights were gobbled up by other streamers. Of course, in the first half of the 2010s, Netflix consolidated its power in the streaming space with far fewer competitors. Now, of course, if you're really thinking about it, the launch of countless new streaming services, there were more than 270 available in the US by 2019. And surely that number is past 300 by now. That includes Netflix competitors such as Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO Max, Apple TV, Disney Plus, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Tubi, and many more. And with each service needing at least the appearance of a robust library of content, that means far more competition for licensing titles such as classic movies and smaller libraries of classic content available to each individual streamer. In other words, it means customers need access to a larger number of streaming services, which means that you're going to pay more and more money. Now, ultimately, the tragedy of losing that Netflix DVD collection of old, there's generally no alternative for replacing it within the streaming world, no matter how much you're willing to spend. Certainly, there's no other service out there mailing DVDs anywhere near this scale, and even after Netflix's own DVD.com has contracted significantly. Nor is there a local brick-and-mortar video store in the vast majority of American cities at this point. It comes down to direct comparisons with what other streamers can offer. HBO Max, for instance, doesn't have a huge selection of streaming movie titles, but it does have a comparatively high-quality one. Amazon Prime Video offers the exact opposite experience, an insanely incomprehensibly vast library that is large primarily because it's filled with zero-budget films that look like home movies uploaded directly by users. The Netflix DVD library struck what was perhaps the ideal balance. Truly vast and eclectic, but also with a baseline quality level of films that had to at least qualify on the front of had a physical release at some point. So you see, what we're left with is a service perpetually in decline, but one that is still offering some content that can't be replicated elsewhere for hardcore film geeks like you and me and many others. The service provided by DVD.com literally gets worse on a quarterly basis, but many subscribers still sticking it out will likely continue to pay for it until it's finally shuttered. Mourning all the while, because when it's gone, there's not going to be any replacement. We'll always have the memory, at least, of that time a decade ago when Netflix possessed the single greatest film library that anyone had ever assembled, or likely ever will assemble. You know, perhaps in 2030, when we're all paying for 100 different streaming services, each with access to half a dozen movies, those glory days will be more fully recognized. Yes, indeed. And if you think about it, those stats are wild. I mean, that's why I wanted to dive into the majority of the article. Because for me, I'm not gonna lie, man, like, you know, you see those numbers and you see the streaming services getting larger, but yet the content is getting smaller. And it's sort of wild to think that 10 years ago, and 10 years ago seems like a long time, but in reality, it's really not, guys. The fact that 10 years ago, Netflix had the largest physical media library combined among all the streaming services that we now have today. That's craziness. That's literally craziness. And the fact that it's been dwindled down to practically nothing. And there is literally people still hanging on to that DVD service to this day. In fact, I'm doing the exact same thing, guys. Yes, I still subscribe to the DVD Netflix service. I'm one of them. And you guys are probably thinking, I can't believe you do that, Seth. I still do it. And why? because renting movies and renting things that maybe I want to give a chance to that is not on a streaming service, I still find available on the Netflix DVD.com service. I do. It's just something that I do, man. I mean, for me, it's about nostalgia. It's about giving movies a chance that I have to pay extra for through streaming that I simply just don't want to do. And, you know, as somebody who grew up with old school video rental places like Video King and Hollywood Video, Blockbuster, and all those mom and pop stores, there's something about renting a movie physically, having the physical copy in your hand, putting it in the disc player, looking at the menu screen. There's something about it all that cannot be challenged by streaming. I don't care how many streaming services we get. I don't care how unique the variety is. I don't care. It just can't be beat, man. And you know, it's interesting because one of the guys at work, he ended up talking to me and he said, "Oh, you know, Family Video is closed and we've been going to Family Video for years and we don't want to dive into these streaming services." And guess what I suggested to them? I suggested the Netflix DVD service. I actually did. And they're like, "Wow, really? That's still a thing? They do the service?" I said, "Yes. They actually still do the service. It's still happening to this day." It's unfortunate because Netflix doesn't promote the DVD service. In fact, if you didn't know that they existed, I'd be surprised because, again, they don't exactly go out of their way to tell you. So it's people like me, it's other people out there who have the service who literally have to go to people and say, "Hey, by the way, this is still a thing. They're still sending out DVDs to people," and it's wild. And so my friend at work is giving that a chance based on my recommendation. And I am in it for thick and thin. I am in the Netflix DVD service until they stop this. Because I am somebody that believes in the physical media realm, in renting and giving people a chance to watch movies that are the unknown, that are the obscure, that are the B-move movies that are not going to be on streaming. I don't care what any of these streaming services tell me. They're not going to be on streaming. You're just not going to. I have over 1,000 titles that will say otherwise. Many of these titles are never going to be seen on a streaming service. They just never are, guys. It's just not going to happen. And it was the old school rental places, like the Blockbusters and like those video rental stores of old, that gave these movies a fighting opportunity and a fighting chance for the public to see them. And the Netflix DVD service has done it as well. And I get why things are changing, right? I get it. Because streaming is becoming more popular. It's more convenient. It's one click of the button. You don't have to get up and put a disc in the player and then have to push it in and then have to go through the menu screen. Wow. A lot of work, right? God. You know, I can't say that the DVD Netflix service is for everyone, because it's not. And there's very little people now that are really taking advantage of it. There's myself and there's a select amount of people. I'm glad that it's still around. I'm glad that it still exists. But I know that it's not going to exist 10 years from now. It may not even exist 5 years from now. But I am going to see it through until the very end. Why? Because I'm that passionate about the DVDs. I'm that passionate about the physical media. I'm that passionate about still checking out movies and experiencing things new that I can't find through streaming. And that's why I think renting and physical media is so important. This is the last of its kind. There's nothing else like it. And there will be nothing else, guys. And that's the honest to God truth. You know, now with family video completely gone, this is all we got left. So cherish it while it's still here. Because I guarantee you, it's going to be gone before you know it. And we're all going to wish that we had something that we could hold on to physical, that we could rent and we could give a chance to. Because as much as nostalgia is great, as much as we hold on to nostalgia, and I hold on to it dearly, it is just that, nostalgia. And unfortunately, certain things in nostalgia just don't come back in style. And I hate to say it, but this is going to be one of them. When it goes, it's never going to be seen again. And it's going to break my heart. But for the time being, I still support it. And I support it in a big bad way. I miss DVD rental services. I miss the Blockbusters. I miss family video. I miss the mom and pop stores. I know I can never get them back. But at least I can hold on to the last piece of it with dear life. And hope that it sticks around as long as humanly possible. I want to know what you guys think, man. I mean, will we ever see this again after this is over? Will there be anything like it? Will we come back around to reappreciating places like Blockbuster and the DVD Netflix service, and maybe years from now, maybe that appreciation might turn into something positive and useful, and we may get it back again? Or is this the last gasp? Definitely let me know, man. But I'm sticking with it through and through to the very end, man. I'm one of the last Mohicans. That's for damn sure, guys. But definitely let me know what you think about that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos I do. Check out the movie reviews with my friends, the movie hunting videos like Dollar Tree hunts, live streams, Blu-ray pickup videos, and much, much more. If you are a lover of movies and physical media, definitely hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my really great and wonderful subscribers out there. You guys are absolutely awesome and amazing, and you guys give me the love and support like no other, and I can't thank you guys enough for everything that you do for me, watching the videos and supporting the channel, and the great feedback and the comments. It means the world to me, and it means that I still want to do this for you guys every single week and go out there and brave the public to give you the best I possibly can, man. So thank you so much. And keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And one more thing before I go, guys. Actually, now I officially have a Film Fan 108 P.O. Box. Yes, I actually have a P.O. Box now. If you guys are interested in sending me anything, whether it's care packages, Blu-rays, DVDs, 4Ks, a note in the mail to, see what's going on with me and respond to you guys. I will do subscriber mail videos. I did this because you guys went out of your way to really want me to do this. So I decided, what the hell, I'm going to give it a go. So in the description down below, I will give you the full address to send my way. If you guys want to send any great subscriber mail to me, I am dying to find out, man. I'm going to do this for about 6 or so months. seeing how it goes. It depends on you guys. If you guys are interested in sending the channel anything, movies and care packages and cool items that you think I'll enjoy, cool nostalgia stuff, definitely check out the description down below and send me some cool stuff, because, hey, I'm into a lot of the same stuff that you guys are into, so I would love to see what you guys send me. So definitely, let's see how this adventure shapes up. I'm dying to find out what you guys send me. But in the meantime, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great week, guys, and happy hunting.